Now we're continuing on with James chapter 2, verse 11. Reading from the King James Bible, quote, "For he that said, do not commit adultery, said also, do not kill. Now if thou commit no adultery, yet if thou kill, thou art become a transgressor of the law." Unquote. One thing I like about James's writing, since he was the first one to write anything down that we have in the New Testament time frame, I look at it to find out, did James write anything that the other apostles and all that took and wrote the same in their scriptures? Did they go to explain anything more? Or did they use exactly what James used? When I find out that in the Greek, that it's the only time that it's found in the Bible, then it tells me that James said it. No one seemed to need to go any further with it. There needed to be no explanation of it. But when we're doing our Bible studies now, I like to look at the King James Bible first. Then I'll look at other versions. I'll look at the Wycliffe translation from the 1400s, the Tyndale translation from 1530s. I will look at the Geneva Bible from the 1500s. In relation to what I'm reading with the King James, I'll look at the Young's literal translation, the ESV, the English Standard Version. I'll look at any of these. I will not look at a paraphrase, like the Messenger or the NIV. Those are not serious translations of the Bible. Those, in my opinion, have a lot of error and a lot of problems. So if you're looking for something that's a little more simpler than the King James, then I recommend that you look at the Geneva version. It's basically the NIV without errors, basically. So, but always take a look at others and compare them. And then when you can, take a look at the Greek and take a look at Strong's Concordance. Look at the definition. What is here? And I'm saying this because this verse here seems to be pretty plain. And when you parse it out in the Greek, it's pretty consistent. For he that said, now let's parse this in the Greek and see. It's said in the second aorist active participle, which means that it's in no regards to past, present, or future. It's being done by you, and it is a participle, an ing or an ed. He that said, do not commit adultery. Now, let's parse that out. That is written in the aorist active subjunctive. So let's read this. The aorist tense is characterized by its emphasis on punctual action, that is, the concept of the verb without regard to past, present, or future. It's active, it's being done by you, or being done. Subjunctive is a mood of possibility or potentially. The action described may or may not occur, depending upon circumstances. Continuing, also, do not kill. Let's look at that. Let's parse that one out. It's done the aorist, so no regard to past, present, or future. Active voice, which represents the subject as the doer, performer of the action. And again, subjunctive mood, so it may or may not take place. Now, if thou commit no adultery. So let's look at adultery. That's written in the future active indicative. So you're talking about something that will happen in the future by you, and it's a fact. So will this take place? Well, from what we just read before, it may or may not. Yet if thou kill. Let's look at thou kill. Future active indicative, same thing. It's followed by if this action takes place. Thou art become. So let's look at that. It's written in the second perfect active indicative. So let's read that. Second perfect is identical to the meaning that is of the normal or first perfect tense. Active is by you, indicative of facts. So, again, it's followed by, will this action take place? If it is, it's being done by you. You can't blame it on the devil. It'd be a fact. So will it? No. So far has it or hasn't it? You'll know. Continuing, a transgressor of the law. So let's take a look now and see what John Gill has to say about this in his commentary. Okay, so John Gill's commentary, James 2:11, quote, "For he that said, do not commit adultery," unquote, that same lawgiver, who is but one, and is God that gave out the seventh command and forbids adultery, quote, said also, "Do not kill," unquote, delivered the sixth command, which forbids murder, quote, "Now if thou commit no adultery," unquote, "do not break the seventh command," quote, "Yet if thou kill," unquote, "break the sixth command," quote, "thou art become a transgressor of the law," unquote. Not of that particular precept of the law, the seventh command, for the contrary is supposed before, of the sixth only, and yet, by so doing, a man becomes a violator of the whole law. For the law is but one, though it consists of various precepts, and the breach of one precept, as well as another, is the breach of the law. And besides, there is but one lawgiver, who has enjoyed one command, as well as another, and whose legislative power and authority is despised and trampled upon by the violation of one command as of another. This is the apostle's argument and way of reasoning, proving the above assertion, that he that breaks the law in one particular instance is guilty of the breach of the whole law. This ends John Gill's commentary on James chapter 2, verse 11. This is one of the reasons why we're doing Discovering the Scriptures, so that you can look at the entire Scriptures, from Genesis 1 all the way to the end of Revelation. You can make the determination upon studying your Bible through this program to find out what does it mean, and learn more about the attributes of God and His salvation plan for us and everything that He gives us. Thank you for listening. May God richly bless you as you go along your ways.